start the recording here. Episode 4 of the podcast, and we have a guest with us this time since Will is not here.
Yes,
Uh,
let's welcome our Niners, a diehard Niners fan, Beto Luna, aka Niner Sickness, who also has his own podcast, also known as Niner Sickness. Welcome to the show, Beto.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to having some fun and talking football.
right.
Awesome.
First up, shall we go through a couple of college games, Chris?
Yeah, I will start with a rant with my stupid Rebels because, they decided they were going to play stupid against Bama. I mean, they started off strong in the first quarter, playing really good defense, but that offense was non existent. I mean, they played one good drive, and after that, everything else they just couldn't do shit. Like,
Yeah.
they just were shut down completely. Um, and Bama wasn't even doing much. Like we were holding the field goals all game long up until the maybe midway to the third, early into the fourth. That's when they started to take the game away, and it looked like maybe there was some life in the offense, but then we got shut down again. So
Yeah.
all in all, just not a great day for the Ole Miss Rebels, and kind of disappointing as me being a diehard uh Ole Miss Rebel fan. It's just was not a good game. And now we got LSU coming up. I'm just scared for my life at this point.
Yeah. Good luck with this next upcoming week. I would usually highlight LSU's game. They played a good game against Arkansas this past week, both teams. But what I would like to highlight is Florida State and Clemson from this past Saturday,
Mm,
an overtime game for the number 4 ranked at the time, Florida State Seminoles,
that,
against an unranked Clemson who has kind of started to fall off the radar a little bit. Uh,
yeah.
Clemson probably would have won this game if it had not been for a missed field goal and an interception in overtime that sealed it for him. I'm
Yeah, I don't know what
I'm
happened to
very
Clemson there.
surprised that Clemson put up that big of a fight against Florida State, which is why I can see they dropped from I think 3 or 4 to 5 on the rankings.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds correct.
Yeah, correct myself earlier for saying 4 because I don't know if it was 3 or 4. But anyway, let's. Does anybody else have anything from college football they'd like to highlight?
I think I'm good.
I don't have anything.
Trojans, baby. Trojans, 42-28, Arizona, kicking a butt. I
There
Nice.
just got
you
to give
go.
a shout out to my Trojans. That's all.
Of course.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Doing things a little bit differently this week. Start looking ahead to the Week 4 games. We've got Thursday night Lions and Packers, a
That's gonna be a
divisional
good
game.
one.
Ooh,
Man, that I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Um, Low key, kind of hoping the Lions win because I can't stand the Packers and what they did to my Saints this past weekend.
well,
So, um, my takeaway with this game, and based off of how the Lions played against the Falcons, I have high faith that the Lions would take away this win from the Packers this time, even with it being in Lambeau.
mhm,
Um, I guess the only concern for the Lions that I have for them is their defense. Granted, they held the Falcons last week to 6 points, but again, it's the Falcons who they suck. So, because the week before that, they allowed 37, 38 points to the Seahawks. So it's like, which defense are we going to get with the Lions? Are we going to get a
yeah.
good defense or are we going to get a bad defense? I have high enough faith in that offense. There's nothing wrong with that, unless they just have a really bad day. But we'll see what happens because Green Bay is not that scary, and my Saints proved it, which I'll get to in a little bit. But Green Bay just doesn't have a scary enough offense for me to be concerned about. So I feel like if the Lions can contain their offense and they just pass all over their defense, I think they'll
I
easily win this
think
game, maybe by 10.
I think the Packers have a chance if they can if they can keep their offense firing like they did in the second half last week, because
Yeah.
in the first half last week they were having a lot of poorly executed plays, like that one from I can't remember what exactly had happened with that, but it ended up with somebody having to throw it back to Jordan Love on the other side of the field, and he dropped the
Oh,
pass
yeah.
at first, picked it up, and just threw it to nothing. If he had caught that instead of dropping it in the backfield, that probably would have been a first down and more.
Agreed. Yeah.
Just stuff like that is what screwed them over in the first half. Penalties everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If they can, keep some of that out of the game, I think they have a better shot against the Lions. I still think the Lions are going to win.
I
They're
agree.
getting Aaron Jones back, so
That is
That
true.
is true.
And Christian Watson.
yep.
Deep ball
Also
threat.
true. So yeah, this should be a really good game coming up. I'm
Yeah.
kind of looking forward to it.
I'm gonna pick the Lions still though. I think they have a really good offense. The defense can be good, but it's a question of are the players on defense
Consistency.
gonna step up?
Yeah, I agree. I got the Lions on this one as well, just based on their. I feel like they had the better, well-round offense, especially that offensive line that's been being like one of the best in the NFL so far. And they just had really good weapons on offense. I just have them. I favor them better over the Packers at this point. The Packers just haven't convinced me that they have good enough weapons, other than Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, who have been injured recently, but they will be back for this game.
Yeah.
I'll take the Lions as well. I think it's going to be a close game with the Packers getting all their players back, or at least most of their players. But yeah, I'll go with the Lions anyway.
Yeah.
And
But
I'll take the Packers. I think that
oh,
Jordan Love is coming to his own. He's figuring things out. He's getting two of his playmakers back. And I love the way that Reed has been playing for him. And now that they're getting two of their players back, that defense is pretty good. They're playing at home. Always hard to play in Lambeau Field. So I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Packers win it by 3.
alrighty.
Interesting. All right. Let's move on to the first game for Sunday, an early game from London, Falcons and Jaguars. Ooh,
Ugh.
this one I think is going to be a bounce back game for Jacksonville after these last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
The
Jacksonville just
Falcons,
been
the Falcons have a decent offense. It's not terrible. It's not the worst offense in the league, but I think the Jaguars have a lot of really good weapons on offense. Just these past couple weeks, something is not clicking with Trevor Lawrence and his receivers. I'm not sure what it
yeah,
is, but
yeah, they just seem off. Like I
specifically with
can't figure it
Calvin
out.
Ridley.
Yeah, like
Calvin
didn't
Ridley, he was doing great week 1, but
right, I
since
was about to
then
mention
he's
that.
kind of just he's been dropping passes left and right. 2 weeks ago, against Kansas City, it was a lot of missed opportunities for touchdowns where he couldn't get both feet down. That was for all the receivers, not just him.
Right.
And against Houston, Houston's offense is coming along, but their defense kind of manhandled them for the majority of that game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, with the Falcons, as much as I hate them, because screw them. But I feel like I want to lean more towards the Falcons because I don't know, just the way the Jaguars have been playing, they especially on offense, they just haven't been playing great. And as much as I want to give the Jags the edge, mainly because of their offense, I feel like the Falcons might actually take this one because I think the Jaguars' run defense is not that great. So the Falcons are really expose that with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algiers. That's a deadly combo that they got. So if they could get both of them going, they could easily win this game because the Falcons' defense isn't that bad, but it's not great either. So they might get the job done against the Jaguars,
Mhm.
but fingers crossed, we shall see. Who knows? Maybe this might be the bounce back week for the Jaguars, like you said. But I guess we'll see by the time Sunday rolls around.
Yeah. I want to mention here though that going back to the Falcons game from this past week against the Lions, their issue I feel like in that game was the run game. The Lions defense held Bijan to 33 yards on 10 carries, and Algier only had 12 yards. They didn't really do well running the ball, and throwing back to the game against the Packers this week for the Lions, they might be able to wrap up Aaron Jones too, but we'll see about that.
That is true, yeah.
But as far as Atlanta goes, if they can find the run game, maybe I'd say it might be a close one, but that all comes down to Jacksonville. If Jacksonville can find their footing on offense, I think they might run away with it.
Yeah. So for me, I hate choosing the Falcons, but it just feels a little more logical for me. I'm gonna choose the Falcons. They probably will win by 3. It seems like a lot of the London games have been close lately, and it's Falcons and Jaguars. Jaguars are still trying to figure things out on offense. Falcons are relatively competitive, so to speak. They weren't that great last week against the Lions, but who knows? It might just make this a game. So I got the Falcons by 3 this coming Sunday, and this makes me sick to my stomach.
I think I'm going to do the reverse and Jags by 3.
Fair enough.
Interesting. I'm taking the Jags in 10.
Okay.
I think the Jags are going to bounce back. I know Bijan is a nice rookie running back. He's powerful and between the tackles, but I think the Jags are going to bounce back. I can't see their quarterback struggling the way they did last week. His name is slipping my mind.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Thank you. Yeah, I don't. He's too good. He's too good, and I see them bouncing back. So I definitely can see them winning by 10 in London.
Paulo, your
Could be
thoughts?
possible.
Is Paulo here?
I thought he was.
I swear, if he's eating his Chick-fil-A again.
That man and his Chick-fil-A, I tell you.
Well, we'll move on.
Yeah.
The next game, this one is going to be interesting. Dolphins and Bills.
Ooh.
That's going to be a good game.
The hottest offense in the NFL right now after putting up 70 points on the Broncos, which
should have been 73 if you ask me.
It very well could have been, but the coach chose not to, which I'm actually kind of surprised at. He could have broke the record with the most points scored, but chose not to.
Yeah, forget about respect other coaches, and I understand that they have this code between coaches, but it's not like the game means nothing and they're just punching it. They're trying to break a record. I mean, 70 points.
Yeah.
When's the next time a team's going to do that? So I think Sean Payne would have been upset, but you're looking at it as, hey, I have a chance to have a record here.
Yeah.
But the fact that Mike McDaniels kind of chose not to, he has a number one fan now. His name is your ex-coach over there. I think he likes it. McDaniels now.
Oh, yeah. For Sean Payne, all I have to say is wham, 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 wham. Cry about it.
Wow, not happy with Payne, are you?
He holds a grudge.
Yeah. It's just the way he left us. And at first, I thought he was.
You guys feel abandoned.
Oh no, I'm fine
Chris
with
does.
it. Chris is the only one here who's still holding that grudge.
How about Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, Paulo, where'd you go?
Yeah.
Oh, I had to step away for a minute. I picked the Jaguars. Okay.
He's eating his Chick-fil-A.
Straight to the point.
All right, but going over to the Bills, though, a pretty impressive game from this past week against Washington. I can't remember off the top of my head here. Let me look and see. How many points did they hold Washington to?
Washington
3.
had like 3 or 10.
I'm
It
looking.
wasn't more than that.
3.
The
37
final
to
score
3.
Yeah.
37 to 3, yeah.
Yeah. an
Yeah,
impressive win.
The Bills defense manhandled the Commanders, and
Yeah,
I know this because I had the Bills defense on my fantasy team, and they were racking up points left and right.
yeah. I had
Must be
the
nice.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
had
nice. Thank you for
Washington. That
asking.
was not a good day for my defense.
Ooh,
But
ouch.
I think this game is going to be the first real test for the Dolphins because the people they've played against so far. I mean, the Broncos speaks for themselves. Their defense was good last year. This year, not so much. Uh, I believe they played the Patriots the week before, who did fairly decent against them. They still scored a good amount of points on them, but the Patriots defense is one of the better ones in the NFL. Uh,
Yeah,
this is
Yeah,
gonna
it
be
started with the Chargers a week before, I think.
Yeah. I'd say
yes,
the
they did.
Chargers was a challenge. Like the Chargers might not have a great defense, but they've got almost like they're still one of the more explosive offenses in the league.
yeah, agreed there. But this one is, I think the Bills are the first team they've had to play that's a combination of a decent defense with a really good offense.
Correct.
This is going to be like their biggest test so far, and a division game at that, which could decide something else later down the line toward the end of the season. Um, I think the Dolphins are going to win it, but I think it's going to be one of their more close games for the season.
Yeah, I'm kind of lean towards the Bills mainly because they're at home and they always play well at home, even against the Dolphins. But it will be a very highly contested game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a shootout. Um, so I'm giving the Bills by 3 points on this one, just mainly because they have a better defense than the Dolphins, and they might make the last stop even in a shootout. Um, in this game, so I'm leaning towards the Bills on this one. But I'm very tempted to go with the Dolphins, but I have to choose the Bills just because they're at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Dolphins. The Bills are heating up. They look really hot right now, but what makes it for me is that I trust Tua not to turn the ball over more than I trust Josh Allen not to turn the ball over, and that might be
Good
the
point.
difference maker.
That's fair, yeah.
That's a very good point there. I'm with you. I'm taking the Dolphins. Listen, the Commanders can't run the ball very well. The Bills defense is not a good run defense. They're still missing what's his name? The guy they picked up from Miller, or the guy they picked up from
Von,
the Von
Von
Miller.
Miller,
Yeah,
yeah,
and the Dolphins can run by committee. Mostert and the young rookie they have are moving the ball. They can move it by air. They can move it by ground. This is not even going to be close. I see an upset here. It's not going to be 70, but I can definitely see an upset over the Bills, even in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
fair enough.
All right, moving on to Vikings and Panthers. Will this be the Vikings' first win?
Theoretically, it
It
should
has
be
to be.
like
If
the
it's not,
Panthers.
they need to tank for Caleb Williams and trade Kirk.
It's
I mean, if they don't beat the Panthers, who are probably going to be playing without Bryce Young this week, that's just going to be sad because you're going against the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and we all and us Saints fans know far too well what he's been capable of.
he's like Jameis Winston. Dalton can be pretty inconsistent game to game, but I I'm like disappointed so far with the way these games have been going for the Vikings. Right now, Kirk Cousins is the leader in passing yards for the NFL, only above Tua, surprisingly.
Because they've been trailing for the most part.
Yeah. Uh, this past week against the Chargers, Kirk did pretty decent, but most of his stats came from the second half. They started off really slow, whereas the Chargers started off hot. It What it feels like to me is the Vikings just they can't stop anybody from scoring, and that feels like what's causing them to lose all these games for me. Uh,
And yeah, their defense reminds me of that Saints defense in 2014, I think, or was it No, it was 2015 where they had the worst defense in the NFL. And that's where I'm looking at the Vikings. They just have the worst defense in the NFL right now. They're just
Mm-hmm.
allowing everyone to score on them. It's just pathetic. You wonder why they're losing games. They just have no defense. They have an
Yeah.
offense which is fantastic, but just no defense. And you just can't win games without a defense to complement it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can't stop anyone from scoring, and then even their offense, like maybe a quarter of the time is a second half offense where they can't get going to the second half, and it's just not good enough for them to do anything.
Yeah, for real.
Now, for the Panthers,
So,
even though they are without their starting quarterback and are starting Andy Dalton, last week against the Seahawks, they still managed to put up 27 points, which the Seahawks defense isn't amazing, but
But it's better than the
yeah,
Vikings
it's
is.
still better than the
yeah.
Vikings. So this one, I think it might be a close one, but I don't see. I want to see the Vikings get their first win here. I think it's entirely possible they could and somewhat likely, but the Panthers, I feel like, are going to score a good bit in this one. I know they've struggled recently, but I think they're going to keep it close.
And I'm sure Adam Thielen would love to score against his former team, considering they let him go or traded him to the Panthers. I'm not sure which one's
No, they let him
accurate,
go.
but they let him go.
Yeah,
Okay,
they let
thank
him
you.
go before.
Yeah, so I'm sure he would love to score against the Vikings just for vengeance.
Yeah. I think with this one,
But
I want to take the Vikings, but I'm only going to go by 3.
yeah, I got the Vikings by 10, just because they have the better offense, and, but it will be close. I think. I think the Vikings will. I think the Panthers will keep it close, but the Vikings will pull away. Like, I don't know, maybe late fourth quarter or something like that.
Yeah, I think if the Vikings were playing at home, the Vikings will have a little bit of a chance. The fact that they're playing in Carolina, that defense for Carolina is good. I don't trust that offensive line for the Vikings. I see the Panthers winning. I see the Vikings going 0-4
Damn.
this week. I don't see them beating. It'll definitely be close. And I see the team that makes more mistakes, and I got to believe that the Vikings are going to make more mistakes, turnovers than the Panthers at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I'll take the Vikings, but I agree it's gonna be close. I'll take them by maybe 3. Like it's not at all gonna be like the Vikings of last year playing against them.
Mm-hmm. Let's
And
see.
now we have the toilet bowl. The
What
Broncos
I'm
and Bears.
what I'm calling the worst game of the week. Oh boy.
And thankfully this
What game
game
is
got
that?
moved.
Broncos and Bears.
Broncos and Bears.
And I ask again, what game is that? It's not even worth mentioning.
Uh, I there's not much we can say good about these two teams. They're both
No.
They're
both
gonna
struggling hard.
They're going to tie.
I mean, it's
If they
entirely
tied, that
possible.
would be.
But
If
if you
they
ask
tie, I'm gonna
me,
laugh.
with this, I think the Broncos are winning just because they have some semblance of an offense. The Bears don't. They don't have anything.
It's just abysmal. Like,
I
and
agree. Yeah.
yeah,
The Broncos are bad, but the Bears seem to have imploded like week 1.
Yep. Their helmet logo is there. It looks now truly like a damn toilet cover because they're just pooping everywhere.
Yeah.
they
Yeah, I'm
really
with you.
are.
The Broncos defense does not inspire me at all, but uh, the Bears offense will self-destruct on their own. They don't even need the
Mhm.
Broncos defense to be good to screw it up.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And I think that
we've
Russell
seen
Wilson can do enough.
we've seen some questionable things from the Bears offense, like that one clip I'm pretty sure everybody's seen of Justin Fields in the pocket with a wide open receiver downfield, but it ends up in a
Yep.
sack.
Yep.
It's
Like, how do
Yeah.
you let that happen? Like, bruh. Like,
it's questionable, like play at the quarterback. It could be some coaching in there as well. It's a
He doesn't know
lot.
how to read defenses, bro.
he really doesn't.
It's
But
a lot
yeah,
for
I'm
that.
with everyone.
How do you miss somebody that wide open, bro? Come on.
Only
I'm
the Bears find a way.
yeah. I'm
And he
taking.
didn't have pressure either. Keep in mind, I
Oh no.
understand that they were bringing the house. Okay, but not even pressured. It was just him not seeing player.
Yeah, because what happened in that play is he's got the ball in his hand, he's scanning the field, he steps up through the pocket, like it barely gets out and gets pulled down immediately.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'll
It-
take
and
Broncos like 21-9.
I'm
Like I
gonna
think
take
we've seen the Broncos score a few touchdowns, but the Bears
Yeah.
aren't gonna.
I'm taking
They can't
Broncos
they're
by
not
at
gonna-
least 7.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take the Broncos by 14. Um, I have better faith in the Broncos offense than I do in the Bears defense offense, but neither of these teams are so inspiring. If I'm a Broncos or a Bears fan, this game's gonna be painful to watch.
Uh-huh.
Well, the Broncos got embarrassed last week by Miami. Their defense got imploded by 70 points. They gave up
Mhm.
70 points. And this is a moment in their week is they got to check themselves in the mirror and says, okay, what kind of defense are we going to be? Are we going to be the defense that gets our ass kicked by 70 points? Or are we better than this? And for them to build themselves up, why not doing it with a shitty offense like the Bears? So if they're going to get
Right.
momentum, this is the game to do it. So I do take the Broncos in this one by 7 as well.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
honestly though, if the Broncos can't like get something going on defense this week, I think it's time to start firing people. I think
I
I
agree.
think it's time to start bringing in somebody else to try and help out because 70 last week, and if you lose to the Bears,
Yeah.
you're done.
Whoever
Oh
had
yeah,
the,
if you
whoever
lose to
had
the
the
Bears,
whoever had the Broncos defense in fantasy must have been hating it last week.
Right here. Yep.
Oh, is that you? Oh my God.
I picked them at the beginning of the year because I thought they were going to be good like last year because that
So
was
did
the
I.
only thing
And I
keeping them in
traded 'em.
games.
I traded him right before the week started, before the Niner game played, and I traded him, and I picked up Kansas City. I'm so glad I picked up Kansas City and dropped the Broncos.
Oh, man.
I had the Broncos defense and I picked up Washington as kind of like an underdog because their defense showed signs of being good at the end of last year, and they both kind of fell apart. So
Ouch! Stop picking them. They're gonna start protesting against you picking them. I'm kidding.
but I think we're all in agreement there. The Broncos should win that on paper.
Theoretically.
Next
If
up,
they
they
though,
don't
don't.
don't show up for week 5. Stay home.
oh yeah, just forfeit.
Just stay
Yeah.
home.
Who do they have week 5? I need to see this.
Week
I have
5.
no idea.
Let's see here. Broncos. Where are you, Broncos? They have. Are they in a bye?
No, they're not on a
Yeah,
bye.
they are in a bye.
Wait,
So
Jets.
they
They're
are-
playing the Jets.
Oh, are they?
Oh.
How did I miss it? Oh, I see
that's
it. Yeah,
gonna
they
be
are. Oh my
another
goodness.
not great game.
Ugh.
Broncos and Jets is not gonna be a very entertaining
No.
game either.
Zach
I don't know. The
Wilson
Jets
against
can win
that.
it by just by the defense alone, but
Yeah,
wow.
their defense is definitely better than the Broncos.
And
But
didn't the Broncos play in 2 games week two back-to-back weeks
I
um,
where
think
they got
so.
exposed to the whole world how bad they are? Or no.
I-
Am I confusing
no.
the Broncos with another team? There's another team that's really bad that. Oh, the Giants. Excuse me.
yeah,
Oh yeah, the Giants. Or should
The
we call them
Giants.
or should we call them the ants at this point because they're getting crushed by
it's,
everybody.
it's rough for Giants fans.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
For New York in general, man.
Oh,
But
yeah.
right now, yeah.
Especially for
It's-
Jets fans, considering they lost Aaron Rodgers for the
Can
season.
you
They had
imagine the
all
whole offseason? They're anticipating to watch. They can't wait for the season to start. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got the bad man. And but 4 plays later, boop, bye, bad man.
Yeah, that's
uh,
that was rough to watch too because you could see the muscle pop in his leg on the
Yeah.
video.
I was actually
the-
excited for Aaron Rodgers, believe it or not.
Yeah.
same here.
So it was devastating to see that.
Yeah, and by the looks of Jets fans, when they were handling the camera on them,
Well,
I felt their
we
pain.
know that feeling all too well. As soon as we went into the championship game last year, and we, first, and we
yeah.
lost Brock Purdy, and we're like, dang. It's like that. Your heart gets ripped right out of your chest, man. Your
Yeah.
hopes are gone, like a fart in the wind.
Literally. Oh man.
It's a rough season for Jets fans so far. But we'll get to the
Yes.
Jets in a minute.
Jets, Jets.
Next up, we've got
Jets.
Ravens and Browns. This one, ooh,
This
the
should be a good
Ravens.
one.
The Ravens struggled this past week.
Yeah,
I believe Paulo 2 lost fumbles by Lamar this past week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
he
terrible.
still got me some good points, but it was rough there for a minute.
Yeah, there was some questionable things going on, I thought, for the Ravens, because at one point on the TV when we were watching, it had said that Lamar had not tried a pass attempt in almost a full quarter, which
dang.
that's a little rough to be putting that all running downfield. You're gonna wear yourself out doing that. It's odd to me. Like, I know they're more of a run heavy offense, but that's a
But the
long
whole
time to
point
go.
of bringing in Odell and Zay Flowers was to change that, to make
Yeah.
Lamar run less. And now we're just kind of already 3 weeks in, back to the same old, same old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something's gonna change within their offense because it's just not working exactly. I mean, they might be 2-1 now, but it's not looking good so far. But with the
I'm gonna take the
Browns,
Browns in this game.
yeah, I
Interesting.
agree with you, Paul. I'm taking the Browns just because I think their offense is a little more complete compared to the Ravens. And I'm not saying they're picture perfect. I mean, we saw how they played against the Steelers. It was a little rough for them, but they just beat the crap out of the Titans, who are known for having a strong running game. I'm taking the Browns just because I think they just have a better running offense overall and a slightly better defense, but it's not by much.
Yeah, I think though, in that division, the Steelers might have the best defense.
Oh, guaranteed, yeah.
Yeah, out of all
Yeah,
the
tell
stuff
that to
we've
the
seen.
Niners.
Well, that's
Yeah,
AFC and NFC
the
though.
Steelers have a great defense when you're
No,
going
I'm
against
messing with
crappy
you.
offenses.
Yeah. I think this one's a tough one for me because I've seen a lot of good things from the Browns. I've also seen some bad.
Right.
A lot from Deshaun Watson though. There's been some questionable things I've seen from him this season.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, he's still shaking off a lot of rust.
Plus, let's not forget they are without Nick Chubb, who,
That too.
Lord help that man. His
They picked
leg
up
is
Hunt
gone.
again, right?
Yeah, they picked up Kareem Hunt, but I believe their starter is Ford for now.
Still Jerome Ford.
Yeah.
Was like,
Mm.
Who did not do
Yeah.
terrible in that game against the Steelers. That man actually did pretty good.
Oh, interesting.
He also did fairly decent this week as well, if I can look up the stats here. Let me see. I believe
But
he
yeah, I
had
don't know.
a
The Ravens
pass.
concern me. Good.
Let's see.
Just feel like the
no, he
Ravens.
only had he only rushed for 18 yards. 10
Oh,
rushes
that's
for
a-
18 yards.
That's
actually pretty
true,
pathetic.
but what he got involved with more was the passing game.
Oh, okay.
He had a couple
Was-
receptions, a little over like 30 yards,
Yeah.
but he also had a touchdown. One of, I believe they scored three or four total.
Something,
Wow,
something
they
like that.
cannot run the ball after what's the name went down.
Yeah, the game against the Steelers, I believe all of Ford's yardage came from catching passes, because it was the big play was a catch and run where I think he caught it just past the first down marker and just took it in to the house.
Yeah, it was a 19 yard. Interesting.
I want to pick the Browns, but it depends on how their offense does. The Ravens, to me, are too questionable to pick. I'm gonna go Browns by 3.
Fair enough. Yeah, this game, I got the Browns by 3 as well. And considering that this is a rival game, this game's is likely to be going down to what I honestly wouldn't be shocked if either one it goes down to like the final minute and the Browns win it by a field goal, or 2, it goes into overtime and the Browns win it by a field goal after stopping the Ravens, whoever gets the ball first, of course. But I could see either of those options happening with this game, but I got Browns by 3.
Mhm.
Is he there? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I don't know. The Ravens, like, their struggles with the Colts this past week just don't inspire me. Like,
Mhm.
Lamar got Lamar and the Ravens lost to Gardner Minshew and the Colts. Like, and I feel like
That's
the
pretty
Browns have
embarrassing.
already exceeded expectations, and the Ravens are kind of like not living up to them. So, just gonna roll with the Browns for now.
Yeah.
100% agree with you, man. I mean, they lost at home in Baltimore against the Colts. You know,
Mainly
it
to a
one thing to
kicker.
do. Yeah, yeah. So it's like, yeah, the Browns are exceeding expectations. Not much, but they are. They're going the up direction. The Ravens are going the
Granted, it doesn't take
down
much
direction.
to exceed the expectations put on the Browns.
But yeah, when the bar is low, yeah, yeah, I'm taking the Browns as well. Probably taken by 3. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in any way, but
Mhm.
you know, to be
Yeah, no.
a close game because they know each other very well and they play each other very well. So I say by 3, but I take the Browns.
Mhm. Next up, we have the Steelers and Texans. This one's going to be interesting. I think after last week's game against Jacksonville, the Texans are showing some promise. But my main concern is the Steelers' defense lining up against the Texans' O line, the Texas O line is not great this year. I believe it's
Yeah,
due
it's
to injuries,
terrible.
though. They have a couple of people out. I'm not sure if they're going to get
Yeah,
them back
Will
for
said
this.
they had like 3 starters out or something
Hmm
on the O line.
Yeah, if he was here, he could tell us, but
Yeah, I'm
Power's
sure
out.
he's got all the numbers, but
Yeah, but
Yeah,
if they can protect Stroud, I think they stand a pretty decent chance of winning this game. Stroud is, I believe, 5th in the NFL for passing yards as a rookie, which is very good in my opinion, despite being
it's
behind that horrendous O line.
it's very impressive. Like he's been able to move the ball around pretty well despite having a really bad O line.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to tip my hat off to him for that. But sadly, because they're going against a really good Steelers defense, I had to give this one to the Steelers because they got it just comes down to the defense. Their offense is nothing to be impressed by any means or any measure by that you know what I mean. It's not that great. So I got the Steelers. I think they might win by 10 personally. Just because of the defense, but the Texans might try to make it close if they can move around that defense of theirs, but it all comes down to protecting Stroud, making sure Stroud gets his passes off on time
Yeah,
and moving the ball effectively. So,
I think I'm gonna pick the Texans by 7.
okay.
Their
hot
defense
take?
showed a
Question
little
mark?
more.
Hmm.
Uh, the defense showed a little bit of promise last week against Jacksonville. Granted, Jacksonville's been struggling a little bit on offense the past couple weeks, but the Texans' defense showed up to play.
They
Uh,
really did, yeah.
as long as they can keep that momentum going, I think the Texans got this.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I'm gonna roll with the Texans this time. And yes,
Oh,
the
wow.
Steelers probably have the better defense, but I'm gonna say the Texans have the better offense. CJ Stroud's been slinging the football around, and that was even against like the Ravens defense, which is pretty good. The Colts defense isn't too shabby. They might not have won those games, but Stroud still got a bunch of yards.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the further we go, the more they're like meshing as a team. So I think they're going to carry this momentum from last week and pull out a win against the Steelers.
Honestly, I wouldn't be too upset if the Texans won because I kind of hope the Texans won because I can't stand the Steelers.
I keep hearing the Steelers have a good defense, but other than Minka and TJ Watt, who do they have? They don't have any middle linebackers that are worth even mentioning. They don't have a pass rush other than TJ, which is alone he's a menace, but he's
Mm-hmm.
the only one pushing that front four. And even but Now, given the Texans are missing, like you guys said, 3 offensive linemen, so that does worry me. But I think TJ Sprout is able to move enough with his legs to kind of avoid. And I think D'Amico Ryans is going to try to get the ball out of his hand quickly.
Mhm.
So I also see the Texans winning at home. It's going to be a defensive win by the Texans. I think that Pickett's going to throw an interception late in the fourth quarter that's going to give the win to the Texans.
Interesting. I think
On
this
another
game.
note, I think D'Amico Ryans is going to keep that job in Texas.
I feel
Oh, I
like
could
so.
see that happening.
Oh yeah,
I also
they love
think
him there.
I also think this game is going to give further evidence to my theory that Stroud was the better of the two early quarterbacks taken. I know Bryce Young is injured, but still, Stroud looks like the better one to me.
I agree.
Yeah, so far.
Even
I
if he
totally
wasn't
agree.
injured,
Mhm.
I think that Stroud is the better quarterback coming out of this class.
Yeah. Personally, for me, not to dog on Bryce Young, I don't know. I thought he was a bit overhyped and overrated, in my opinion. Well, of course, I don't want to judge him too harshly, considering who he's playing for right now. But maybe in due time, we'll see if they get their offense fixed and maybe get some better receivers for them and maybe a better running game. We'll see what happens. But right now, it's CJ Stroud is just winning the rookie quarterback battle this season already. So I really like what I see in CJ Stroud.
Honestly, Anthony Richardson could have been in that race if it had not been for an injury.
Yeah.
He could have
Yes,
been,
sir.
yeah.
He was
Like,
outperforming what I think a lot of us expected from him.
Yeah, unfortunately, he
thanks.
got hurt, man. And that
That
sucks. But you're
sucks.
right.
Uh,
If he didn't get hurt, I'm 100% with you. He
is
was doing
there
really good, playing good ball.
has there been any word on if he's expected back or if he's going to be out for longer?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I can look real quick.
Yeah, see if you can find anything on that because segueing into the next game, it is the Colts and Rams.
Right.
Colts and
Look,
Rams. That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah,
Rams are playing a little bit better than I thought they were.
yeah, even
Basically,
without
having a
Cooper
bunch of
Cup.
rookies. Yeah, well, that's the scary part. That kid, Kua,
Yeah, Puka Nakua.
Apuka Nakua, that guy is just on fire, man. They got a great pick in the fifth round from him,
Yeah,
and I can only imagine him pairing up with um, you just Cooper Cup. Wow, and then
yeah,
that even the running back Williams played enough where they got rid of the other kid. Like they sent him to Minnesota because they
Mhm.
got tired of his crap. So
which I believe Minnesota didn't really use him this past week either.
yeah,
He
and they
wasn't
didn't give him much.
active. He wasn't
Yeah, they didn't
active
give
yet.
him much for him. I think they're going to trade a late 2026 draft pick for him for
that's like
Akers. So
a bag of peanuts.
yeah,
It says here about Anthony Richardson that he did participate fully in Wednesday's practice, and while he's still in concussion protocol, he could play this weekend coming up against the Rams. But I guess he will be a game time decision considering he hasn't fully practiced the last 2 days. So fingers crossed on that.
Yeah,
yeah, they're
honestly,
not giving the Ravs no leverage in knowing if he's
yeah,
playing or not. They're going to let him guess.
Yeah.
never let them
Eh,
know your next move.
Never.
y-
But I think it might be a different story here if he does play. I think the Colts will have a much better chance against the Rams with him at quarterback. Uh, like we said, the Rams' offense is kind of on fire right now, but against that Cincinnati defense this past week, which Cincinnati's defense is okay. It's not anything amazing and it's not terrible, but there was a lot going on for Cincinnati that night.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, the Colts
Yeah.
defense is also one of those not elite, but it's okay. So if they can do as good as Cincy's, then maybe the Rams will have some trouble.
Mhm. I think I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with the Colts on this.
I agree with that. I think the Colts are surprising everybody so far this season because honestly, I kind of ruled them out just based off of last season. Like last season, they were a train wreck, but this year they are showing a lot of promise. And even with Anthony Richardson out from last week, they still won last week against the Ravens, which was very impressive. And their defense doesn't look that bad. Their offense looks like it's decent as well. So I kind of have them. I have them favored more than the Rams. Grant, the Rams have their offense has been really good up until the Bengals game, which they got nearly shut down on. But I just feel like the Colts have more of the show on offense than the Rams do. So I'm going with the Colts on this
I
one.
do want to say though, my pick is assuming that Richardson plays quarterback.
Yes, of
I think
course.
it's going to be a different story if it's Minshew.
That is true. If Minshew plays, I could probably see the Rams winning this one. But if Richardson plays, easily the Colts, easily.
I'm gonna roll with the Rams. I'm assuming Richardson isn't playing. If Minshew plays, then I'm going with the Rams. Even if Richardson plays, I'll pick the Rams anyway. I think it'll be a closer game if Richardson plays, but I like what the Rams are doing. Like the Rams struggled this past week, but I mean they did really good the first 2 weeks, so I'll give it to the Rams.
All I can
Fair
say
enough.
is same old sorry ass Rams. They're in the West. Don't like them. I think Matthew Stafford is playing on borrowed time. I do like the receiver they have, but I don't care if the janitor comes in and plays for the Colts at quarterback. They're going to win this game. And I'm not saying just because I hate the Rams, but the Rams will find a way to mess it up.
I also want to mention that this
come
is
in
in
DeForest Buckner.
Indianapolis.
It
Oh.
is.
Mm.
Yeah, if it was in LA, it would, you know, the Niners own LA, by the way, but if you know any
True.
team that goes in there owns that, so it doesn't really scare me. I don't know if you guys watched that Niner and Rams game when it was all red in their stadium. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
I actually did. I was laughing about it. I was like, dang, I wonder if my friend Beto was out there right now.
When they say I was at the game, they say whose house? It sure isn't the Rams' house.
No.
At least not week 2.
Like at this
That's why
point,
we
the
call
Rams.
it Levi South.
At this point, the Rams might as well just pay actors to be Rams fans for to film
Bro,
their
the league
stadium.
allowed us to wear our home red in their stadium.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we wore our
Wow.
red.
Okay, man, if I'm a
So
Rams fan, that'd be
it's our stadium.
disrespectful.
We had like 70. You know what's funny? It's 70% Niner fans in there, and yet when the Niners were on offense, there was a lot of noise. There's no way those people are making the noise. They're pumping speaker noise in there, and it's supposed to be illegal. But go and figure, right?
I mean, there's more Niner fans than there are Rams fans at that game, so
and they get just as loud as the
blame 'em.
Niners get when the team's on offense. How does that go about?
I don't know. That's crazy. Man.
That is surprising.
Whenever Matthew Stafford has to call audible or do the silent count in their own home, it's funny as heck, bro. He has to go on the silent count at their own stadium because they're so damn loud in there. I can't miss those games. They're too fun to watch. I'm about 8 hours away, 1 hour and a half by plane, but I'll take it every time because it's just we take over. It's just it's like the best game ever for me for a away team.
And one day I want to go to an away NFL game. We've only ever been to the Superdome, so.
Oh wow, yeah, it's fun. It's funner. Away. You know, I mean, it's fun to be in your own. You know, as a season ticket holder for the Niners, it's always fun to watch them play every game. But when you go away and you go against hostile environment and they're booing the Niners because you don't get used to that when you're playing at home. So when you go into a different stadium and your team comes out, they boo them and this and that, and then when the Niners are winning or whatever team you root for, in your case the Saints, if they're winning, whoever they're playing, the fans get quiet, they get edgy, and it's just, to me, it's much funner going into the enemy's camp than it is playing at home, especially when you have a good run game and a defense. So that's what you need to take with you to have success on the road. If you have those both going for you, most likely not, you're going to win that game, and that's even funner to win a game in the opposing field.
Yeah. I've never personally been to an opposing team's stadium.
Well, at least not in the NFL.
Right. I've been to plenty of LSU Ole Miss games when it was in Baton Rouge. Oh, that was miserable,
Go
especially
Tigers.
last season. Oh, shut up. Got hotty toddy.
You guys got to go
Um,
out of the country. I went to the London game when the Niners played a few years back.
Yeah,
That was
Paulo
fun.
was talking about wanting to go to the one from Germany.
Germany.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
go
not,
to the
not
Germany
London,
game.
Germany. Excuse me. Yeah,
oh, jeez.
that was fun. And then Mexico, always fun when the altitude up there. I mean, just walking up the stairs, you're like running out of breath. Uh, Imagine the player. But yeah, when you go out to those stadiums, are more because you see everybody wearing all types of jerseys. It's not like all red or all. It's everyone wearing their favorite team jersey out there, and
It's a rainbow,
it's
like a
fun to
bag of
watch.
Skittles.
Yes,
They're
sir.
just there for a good time. They're there. They're just
Absolutely.
happy to have some games.
Yep. And that's the most
Yeah.
friendly environment you can ever be in.
One day we'll get there.
Just get on a plane.
All right, but after going on that tangent, the next game we got up is Buccaneers Saints.
This one I'll be personally attending with my cousins, and that's gonna be really fun. It'll be her first Saints game. Well, regular season. She's been to one preseason before, but
It's a different thing.
enough of
It's a
different
different
thing, yes.
beast.
Oh yeah, especially with it being a division rival game, this should be a lot of fun. As long as we're winning, of course. I have to sadly rant about that stupid O line that we got. That that they're the ones responsible for injuring Derek Carr for sure because they can't block to save their life. I mean, probably 10,000 fleas could get past them and they still couldn't block them all. Like it's just sad to watch them on offense. Defense, they're still fantastic. Yeah, they may have suffered a blow last week to the Packers by blowing that 17-0 lead, but still only
They
allowing
were tired.
18 points.
They were
Yeah,
tired.
they were tired.
They were
So,
on the
if
field for
we-
the majority of the time in the second half, and that drains people.
It really does. Now they're saying that Derek Carr could play this weekend coming up. Personally, I don't want him to. I want him to rest up and heal for the next game after the
Yeah.
Bucks. But if he does play, that'd be great. Otherwise, we're stuck with Jameis Winston. And personally, for me, I don't have a lot of faith in Jameis Winston because he's very inconsistent. So, but having the Saints at home, I feel like I need to give the Saints the edge here, but it's going to be a close battle considering it's the Buccaneers and they haven't given us a lot of trouble in recent years. Granted, they had Tom Brady at the time, but they've been playing somewhat okay, even with Baker Mayfield. Granted, they got destroyed by the Eagles this past Monday night. So, but
That's to be
I got the
expected, though.
yeah,
Like,
that
the
was
Eagles
expected.
are a tier above them.
I do want to say though, I think that the Saints have a better defense than the Eagles do.
Yes, I agree.
Say that
So,
again.
I think the Saints have
boy.
a better defense than the Eagles.
That is a little bit of a hot take. I'm not
Wow, that is definitely a hot take. bro.
We've held teams that we've won against to I
You
believe
might have
under
played
20.
better than in certain games, but doesn't mean you're a better defense.
Yeah, we
Well,
haven't gone against any crazy offenses. Like, we have held people, but I mean, who?
Yeah,
True.
every dog has their day, but
Yeah.
and I'm not saying the defense is not bad. I'm not saying your defense is bad. Your defense is decent, but that pass rush of the Eagles, even when losing what's his name to us, Hargrave, and they picked up Carter.
Oh yeah.
You know, they don't have any really still linebackers, but that secondary. I don't know who's you guys' pusher. You guys lost Davenport, right?
Yeah, but honestly,
Yeah.
he wasn't doing squat for us. Like
I will say we were doing a little bit better when Marcus May was out there.
yes,
Yeah, because his
Sadly,
backup
he-
is the one they kept targeting, wasn't it?
yeah. But going back to Davenport, he only had 0.5 sacks all last season. Like
Oh,
he did nothing for us. He was constantly riding the bench with injuries. he was just so inconsistent. Like he had some flashes, like in the year before last season, he had some flashes of brilliance, but he was constantly off the field with injuries. So honestly,
Well, that
losing
sucks.
him was not a big blow at all.
Yeah,
So
I think
You guys want to you guys want to borrow Bosa for a weekend?
sure, why not?
Sure.
I think right now our main pass rushers for the Saints defense, in a way, Demario Davis, he gets there pretty frequently. But last game, if we had won that game, the game ball should have went to Alante Taylor, I believe is his name,
I agree.
jersey
Yeah.
number 1.
Broke up
He
a lot of
was
passes.
he was everywhere. I believe
Yeah,
he got a couple sacks too.
Yeah.
he
Yep,
did.
yep,
Like
yep.
he had a lot of tackles for losses, sacks. He was just amazing that day. And of course, he was complimenting really well Marshawn Lattimore as well. So it's like we got some like if he continues that trend this season, I think nobody's going to really passing well on us at all this season. Of
Yeah.
course, we got to play against a good team to find out how good they
Yeah.
really are. But
I'm waiting. Like maybe what I said is kind of a hot take, but I think we'll really find out with it once we play like a high caliber offense.
If we play the
Yeah.
Vikings and we lock them up, then I'll agree with you.
Yeah,
that
that-
we've got
Oh,
that
you,
would be the
you guys,
proof.
you guys don't tackle very well. You
Yeah,
guys gotta
that
pick
that
up
is
your
true.
having
tackling.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have been having that issue. We let
That's
people get
true.
more yards than they need.
Yeah, you guys got to shorten up that tackling, man. Because I'm looking at your stats and I'm like, wow, the Warner had only 7 tackles, and he's the highest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a change. If you guys want to have yeah. When you said Eagles, I'm like, look at the Eagles tackling; they're a machine. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, you always want to root for your team, and you want your team, but realistically, yeah, it's mentioning those 2 defenses, and I don't mean no disrespect to the Saints or the Saints defense, but it's night and day compared to the
Mhm.
to the Eagles, and I can't stand the Eagles.
Yeah, neither can we.
I want to say the Saints. I'd rather root for the Saints than the Eagles, but yeah, realistically,
I think we just need a better test to see, because like you said,
Yeah.
the teams
I
we've won
agree.
against are not amazing on offense, but I think this week's going to be a little bit more of a test for them, because
Against the Bucks.
the Buccaneers'
We'll see.
offense has been pretty
Yeah.
decent so far.
Evans can't catch a cold if he wanted to, bro. I don't know what's going on with Evans over there. Mike Evans
I'll
can
still give
catch
us
nothing.
yeah. I'll still give us the edge over the Bucks, like in the game though, because we get Kamara back this week. Even if Jameis
Yeah.
Winston has to play, he might be a
he's
little
been
extra
out?
motivated.
Yeah, he's been
Kamara's
suspended.
Yep.
Oh,
For that
that's right.
that whole
that's right, that's right.
situation,
Yeah, that's right.
he's excited to get
Even if
back. He's
Winston,
putting in the work.
Yeah. Even if Winston plays, I'll still give us the edge because Winston will be a little extra motivated to get a win over his old team. So
Educate
give
me
us the
here. Do you
edge.
guys play that? You guys play? I think you guys play the Buccaneers every year pretty good, right? Close.
It's a very
Yeah.
hard fought game every year.
Okay.
well, except
Yeah.
for that time that we shut out Tom Brady.
Well, yeah,
You remember that
yeah,
time?
Yeah.
that and that was
That was
when we
beautiful.
weren't even that great of a team.
Yeah. That was just
Yeah.
out of spite.
Yeah, that was out of fierce fight.
But most of the time we keep it close to the Bucks. I mean, there were times where we blew out the Bucks, but of course they had really bad teams. And this year's team is still questionable, but they've shown some flashes where they could be good. Except against the Eagles, obviously. But we shall see. But I'm keeping it close. I have the Saints winning by 7. So, and considering they're at home, I think it's a safe bet to have them winning at home.
You know what? I'm still gonna go Saints, but I'm gonna say Saints by 3. I think Groupie's gonna make up for last week and kick a game winner.
Oh, if he does, I will hug him.
I hope it doesn't come down to a game winner.
Yeah, I
I
hope not
honestly
either.
think it will.
Yeah, sad but true. I think it will come down to that.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. I'm sorry, guys. Taking the Bucks. That defense. I like the Bucks defense a little bit better. Sorry, my the niece just came and my dog barks a little bit, so I apologize for that. But Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks here in this one by 7.
Beto, I thought we were friends, bro.
Hey, I'm just realistic, bro. It's just
I know. I'm playing with you.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. We spent a good bit of time on that game.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
it's an
wonder
important
why.
one.
Commanders Eagles. I don't think this should be a question. I think it's the
Not
Well,
Eagles
after
all
not after
day.
last week, no.
it wasn't a question last year either, but the Commanders handed the Eagles their first loss last year.
That is
so
true.
I'm not closing the
True.
door on it,
No,
but
you're right.
That's
They
Eagles
play,
should win.
division games always play each other very well. I don't. You got to throw the record out, and you got to throw out whatever they played the week before. Whenever you play a division, it's 0-0 on the record column because they always play each other so well. So you're right. They did beat the Eagles. I think they were one of the two teams that beat the Eagles last year.
Yeah. And I think we
Yeah,
were the other one.
We were the other one, yeah.
Oh,
But the
you guys beat.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Commanders did
wow.
it
Okay.
first.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot we beat them.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
that's
during
cool.
Minshew season.
But I think the Eagles are definitely winning this. I don't think they're. It might be close if the Commanders' defense can step up, but I think it's Eagles by at least 10.
I got
Should
the
be,
Eagles
yeah.
by. I got the Eagles by 14 at the very least. I think their offense is so much better. Yeah, it's a divisional rival game, so it might be close, but I think the Eagles will take it away from them towards the end of the game. So I got them by 14.
I am so glad, Christopher, you're not putting money on these bets. 'Cause you're going way out to 14, really?
Yeah,
Let's go
thank
by
God I'm not a
emotion,
betting
shouldn't
man.
we?
I'll take Eagles by maybe 7. Like it's
It-
not gonna be that crazy of a win. The Eagles haven't looked super like dominant like last year.
Exactly.
True.
They're
Yep.
still, and maybe they will, but it's still after these first 3 weeks. I think it's still too soon to just assume they're gonna be dominant.
Yeah, I agree. The Eagles and Commanders play each other very well. Two good defenses. It didn't seem that last week for the Commanders against the Bills, but I don't think the Eagles' offense, Jalen Hurd hasn't really still be that quarterback that he was last year. I think he's still trying to find his footing in this game. Maybe he finds it here, but I take the Eagles at home by 7 as well. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or 14, Mr. Christopher.
I'll take the happy medium of 10. Moving on,
Fair
though,
enough.
my second team here, Bengals and Titans.
Whoa. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
That's my second team, the Bengals, my boy
Yeah,
Joey B.
we're Bengals fans as well.
Oh, my
No,
God.
it's hold up. It's only because of Joe Burrow because he's a former LSU Tiger.
And
That's
Jamar
Technically
Chase.
not. Joe Burrow,
And
Jamar Chase, plus a couple of linemen that play there.
Hendrickson used to be on the Saints. Fan of him.
So if the Bengals play the Saints, you guys toss a quarter
Oh no,
up in
it's
the
still
air?
Saints, but the
It's
Bengals
still
are like,
Saints, but there's a surprising amount of people in our area that will go Bengals.
Really?
Yeah.
sadly so. Yeah.
Joe Burrow meant that much to
That's
the
like
people
having two
around here.
wives, bro. Too much of a mess. One is enough for
It's
me.
like the it is.
I've kind of always been like that though. With like, I've had the Saints are my NFC team, and I've had an AFC team. And the past like 3 years, it's been the Bengals. Before that, it was the Texans, but then the whole thing with John Watson happened. We ain't talking about that here.
Yeah. No.
We can talk it in the massage parlor. Oh, I'm sorry, I said that out loud. Hold on.
But I think Bengals are taking this one if the defense plays like it did against the Rams. If it plays like that, I think they're holding the Titans to maybe 14 at the most. Joe Burrow has kind of struggled in the first half of these games when he's been playing, when he hasn't been hurt. But I think they're starting to find their footing on offense. It showed last week with those numerous downfield passes that they took. Jamar Chase is starting to get involved a lot more than he was in like week 1 and 2. I'm picking the Bengals by 7 in this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh, I want to say Bengals, but I don't know. I'm kind of favoring the Titans in this one. Um, it's just here's my concern. So the Titans defense isn't that bad. It's actually decent to an extent. Like if they held the Saints in the first week to I think 17 points or something like that. And then Grant they kind of stumbled out of the they have stumbled a little bit lately and they got killed by the Browns. But I don't know, they're at home and they got a really good rushing attack um with Derrick Henry and company. So I'm gonna favor the Titans here by 7 at the very very least.
I'm gonna roll with the Bengals. I know the Bengals have had their struggles, but they seem to be on the right track at the very least to getting back to what they're supposed to be. The Titans really, I was somewhat impressed with their win over the Chargers, but if you think about it, the Chargers defense is not good.
Mhm.
And then against our defense, against the Browns defense, they just kind of wet the bed. So they really haven't had much success against even like mid-tier defenses. So assuming that that continues, I'm just gonna roll with the Bengals by maybe 3. I think it's gonna be close.
Yep. And can someone please send an email to Derrick Henry and tell him the season started?
Yeah, that's been rough for
Yeah,
people
he
in
hasn't been
Tennessee.
great.
It's like, where is he, man? He 20, all he rushed for was 20 yards against Cleveland. And
Yeah.
Cleveland's not that good.
Yeah,
It's
Will
like,
was not happy about that. I think he got him 6 points in fantasy this
Oh,
week.
yeah.
He did horribly.
yeah. So it's like until he starts moving forward, I just can't put any faith in the Titans at all. The Bengals do have to play a little bit better than they played against the Rams for sure, but the Titans are just self-destructing on their own. I mean, I don't know. I just until Henry gets going, because he's the one that moves that. He's that engine that moves that bus,
Yep.
and it hasn't been moving. It's a big old flat tire, and as long as that flat tire doesn't get fixed, they're going to struggle. So I take the Bengals on this one by 10.
Fair enough.
Moving on here, I think this is another one that I don't think is much of a question. Chargers Raiders. I think the Chargers are taking this one.
Oh, easily.
The Raiders.
Easily.
The
Jimmy
Raiders.
G, Jimmy G.
The Raiders defense has not shown me anything promising when playing against these teams. The offense is somewhat questionable. Is correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Jimmy G get hurt last week?
No,
I don't think
no,
so.
maybe
no,
his
he did
feelings
not.
by throwing interceptions, but other than
Hmm.
that, no.
Yeah, I think the Chargers are taking this. Even if the Chargers don't have a great defense, their offense can outscore the Raiders.
Yeah, I got the Chargers by 21.
I'm
in
not gonna
this
go
one.
that far, but
You
Sheesh.
gotta love this guy. This guy's a betting man. I'm telling you.
I'm sorry. The Raiders
21.
deep.
Make
I'm
it
sorry,
41. Who cares? Just make it 41, Christopher.
70-20.
Yeah.
70-20.
I'm sorry. The Chargers offense is really good, and the Raiders defense, it just pathetic. I could see the Chargers easily just whipping them left and right
I'm
on all phases of the team. So
gonna take
that's why I got them by 21.
I'm gonna take the Chargers by I think 10. I think 10's a acceptable amount.
I'll take the Chargers by I'll take them by 13.
Okay.
A touchdown and 2 field goals because I mean the Raiders offense is still like when it works, it can put up some points and it's not like the Chargers defense is anything to write home about. So
Yeah,
I'll say the Chargers win, but it's not like the Raiders are gonna do nothing.
yeah, it is the
Yeah, I
Chargers
agree.
defense after all.
That's true.
I want the Raiders to keep losing because Devontae Adams wants to come to the Niners. And so they keep losing.
see.
But this is going to be an interesting game. Wow. Jacobs, they got Devontae. their offensive lines. The Chargers defense not as great as they once were, but their offensive line is explosive. But they did lose Mike Williams for the year, but they still have Killian Allen,
Yeah.
whatever his name is over there,
Keenan Allen,
and
yeah.
so they're still explosive. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to take the Raiders by 3. I think the Raiders are going to
Oh,
be
wow.
sneaky. Yeah, I think the Raiders are going to
Interesting.
get lucky. I don't want the Raiders to win, but I think they're going to get lucky and pull it off by 3. They play each other very well, these two.
All
So,
right.
and and
All
I think
right.
it's going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah,
All
Brandon
right.
Staley could still lose the day for the Chargers as well. So throw that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
By the way, y'all are free to roast me if my prediction for that game is.
Oh, don't worry,
South.
we will.
If they win by
21, bro,
21 or
it's like-
more, then I'll take you out to dinner or something.
Yes, you will buy me all the Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwiches. I will gladly take that.
All right. Next up, I think this one's a defensive battle: Patriots and Cowboys in Arlington.
We better hope so. I mean, the Cowboys laid a goose egg last week against the
That
Cardinals
was
of
so
all
fun to
teams.
watch. So fun to watch.
Same.
The
Like,
real defense is going to be playing the Cardinals this week, not that fake wannabe defense over there in Dallas.
They performed so well the first couple of weeks, and last week just
They played the Giants
Fell
and
to
the Jets,
pieces.
bro. And they're ready to go to the Super Bowl. That's why I can't stand Cowboy fans. I'm sorry. They play against two sorry ass teams and they're ready buying tickets to the Super Bowl and getting tattoos.
insert
2023 Super Bowl.
insert the image of the hunched over SpongeBob. We go
Yeah.
into the Super Bowl.
It's like America's team. Jerry
Or
Jones,
Betty-
you need to die. Go get yourself a beautiful blonde and then just
Look,
have a heart
you-
attack right
you-
there.
You know what that man looks like? That man looks like, what was he, the king or something over in England before he died? That one image where he looked like a walking corpse?
Yeah, bro.
You
That
mean-
guy's like,
You mean Queen Elizabeth?
No, the other guy.
No, he's talking about
No.
Charles.
The dude.
Charles, yeah.
Charles.
Queen
I
Elizabeth.
was like, dang.
He didn't say ugly.
No,
Ugly, I can go with you.
no, the guy, I don't know if you've seen that image, Chris, but he looked like a walking corpse.
Oh,
Yeah, that's,
No,
a
I
good,
didn't
that's, a
see
good,
that.
that's Jerry Jones for you.
Hmm.
He
Yeah,
walks
he was-
dead every time that he wants to get to the NFC Championship. Can't even get there.
You know, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Jerry Jones at one point was hitting on Miss Benson, the owner of the Saints.
Oh God.
It
He hits
yeah.
anything that he hits on anything that moves.
Yeah, I was like, don't you dare touch our motherly saint.
They don't keep an eye on him. He's going to be in the corner talking to the trash can.
Yeah,
Literally.
and probably get dumped by the trash can. Yeah,
But
Jerry Jones, pull out the dollar bills, buddy.
I also want to point out something from the Patriots from this past week. Mac Jones, what the heck were you doing to Sauce Gardner?
Oh my gosh.
Look,
Yeah,
all
you did bring it up.
this
I
is
was wondering.
now the 6th time in the last 3 days that you've been talking about Sauce Gardner's penis, Jose. We need to have
Because I'm
talk.
surprised by the fact that Mac Jones got up from the ground, stood up, looked him in the eye, and grabbed his junk.
Surprised or jealous?
I'm surprised. Like, I didn't
Okay,
expect
just
that to
asking.
happen. Like,
I'm messing with you.
like, boy, what were you doing?
Jose, if you said jealous, we're gonna have a serious talk.
Oh,
here, y'all.
no. Heck no. I was
I was
hoping.
hoping you would slip. You know, sometimes people
Nah.
answer quicker than they think.
No.
That's what happened to Christopher when he called me drunk one time.
Yes.
I put
yes.
him in a situation where he slipped, and I recorded it.
Yep. That was not my brightest moment.
No, I was hoping after seeing that Sauce Gardner would have drop kicked him more than that
Unless
little.
he liked it, he's like, "Call me after the game."
That might have been what Mac was doing, saying, "Okay, just don't hit me again."
You know, we both like to touch the court. Both of us can throw the football and like to touch the football. So, oh my
But
god, I don't know what he was.
I
doing
believe
there.
he did get a fine for that, though, and it's not the first time Mac has done something kind of dirty either. There's been times when he's on the ground, and when a Jets player comes close to him, he kicks as he's getting up and goes straight between the legs. It's not the
He
first
has a
time.
fetish with the banana.
Apparently, put a banana.
Oh
The
God.
banana and the
Yeah.
tailpipe.
But I think the Cowboys defense should do decent against Mac Jones because it's Mac Jones. He's
Right.
he's
Their
not
offense
amazing.
is
Dak, protect your balls or your nut sack, because here comes Mac Jones.
he's
Well, you
coming.
know, Dak can't protect the ball with all them turnovers.
I
So
was waiting for you to
Yeah.
someone to say that. I love it.
Too,
He goes, here, let me
being
pull it out and just give it to you.
yeah.
Dak too busy throwing apple turnovers.
If you ask me though, I think after last week, I don't know if the Cowboys are going to bounce back after that. I think they got a lot of stuff to figure out after that game.
Yeah, like how not to give the ball, put the ball in the hands of Dak in a situation, pressure situation like that. Don't put it. Run the
Dak,
ball. Just run the ball.
Dak ain't it.
He
Not
really
when the
isn't.
pressure calls for him to be there. I mean, when the Cowboys lead by 2 scores and they're playing ahead, Dak looks decent. But whenever they fall behind and they got to put the ball in his hands to try to win a game, you see what he does. He's like, "Hey, Christmas in September. Here you go."
And
Yeah, I think the
I
Cowboys win this game. The Patriots
agree.
are better than last year, but I think the Cowboys should bounce
And
back,
that's not
even if
saying
it's
much,
just
bro.
the defense. Yeah, even if it's just the defense that bounces back. Um, I mean, obviously Dak is Dak, no matter what game it is, but I think the defense bounces back and puts some pressure on Mac Jones.
Yeah. It's like which version of Dak are we getting? Are we getting good Dak or bad Dak?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all
Because
have seen the image I have for like the server icon in Discord,
Mhm.
but if you look at that picture of Dak Prescott, that's his face after last week. That is depression. I think honestly though, the Patriots defense is a lot better than they have been. I think the Patriots are going to keep this one close. And I think they might be a little sneaky here and take a win with 3 points.
Hmm.
That's an interesting take.
I think the Patriots might take it by 3.
Interesting.
Okay. I think I'm gonna take the Cowboys by 3 on this one.
What? Not 31?
No. No.
Okay.
I don't think Dak can do that much.
No.
No, I thought he was going to give 31 points away.
No,
Patriots.
not this time. No. Patriots defense is better than that. So
I think I'll take the Cowboys by 14. Like, I know that sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot, but I mean, the Giants defense isn't horrible, or actually, let me backtrack on that. It wasn't going into the season. We didn't think it would be.
Yeah, 40-0.
And
It's
then
pretty horrible.
the Jets defense is also still supposedly like a good defense. I don't think the Cowboys offense is going to put up all of the points. I feel like the defense might be able to rustle something up or give them a short field or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like we were talking a few weeks ago, like the Cowboys were a clear-cut team going to the playoffs, and now people are kind of like not sure about that. But I
Yeah.
feel like they still are, and they're gonna be in the mood to show it.
I just want to say about my pick, that is assuming that the Cowboys are still in that rut. If they do like manage to regroup and come back, I think they will win. But if they stay playing like they were last week, I'm still taking the Patriots by 3.
I'm with you guys. I think this is going to be a game of the coaches. Bill Belichick or Belichick, what I like to call him, going against Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is like a kid that doesn't know what he's doing, just sitting there trying to be the face of that team. Dak is always throwing to the other team. That defense of the Patriots is pretty damn good. The only reason why it's not going to be a great game for the Patriots because Mac Jones sucks. But
Yeah.
if they had a better quarterback, I would easily say it's a blowout win over the Cowboys. I'm still taking the Patriots. I'm taking them by 3 in Dallas. I think that Bill Belichick pulls out one. If they're playing chess, uh, Mike McCarthy's playing checkers. So I just give it to Bill Belichick in this one. I think he'll pull a win in Dallas. Or where are they playing? Arlington,
Yep, in Arlington.
Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Go
then.
Patriots.
I believe we're gonna have a little bit of input on this one with our guest today, Cardinals Niners. This is
Yeah.
this shouldn't be a question in my opinion.
Yeah. Niners all day.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because the Cardinals have exceeded all of our expectations for at least how we were talking before the season started. We were predicting the Cardinals would be like the worst team in football, and they actually look like they're out there fighting every time. But yeah,
They
against
can't
the
close a
Niners,
game.
it's not gonna.
They cannot close out a game. They would have beat the
really
Giants
can't.
if they could close that out.
Well, I mean, they closed it out against the Cowboys, but
Yeah, but
it's
that's the Cowboys. This is the Niners we're
Well,
talking
they had
about.
a lead. They never gave it up. Remember, against the Cowboys, they took the lead and never gave up that lead against the Cowboys. I don't think the Niners will have a problem getting a lead over that defense. That defense is not good. Name me 3 good starters in that defense. Uh, and I don't
Can't
think
think of one.
Yeah, exactly. And then on offense, we're going to beat them so bad. Dobbs is going to go back to the Amazon, try to drive Joshua Dobbs over there. But they
Ouch.
do play each other very well. The Cardinals in the past have beaten us, even though we play very, very well and we're a good team. The Cardinals have a way to beat us, but they're not the same Cardinals of 2 years ago. Last year we ran the NFC West. We beat all teams twice. Um, this is going to be a game where the enemy is going to be the Niners. If they don't underestimate the Cardinals and take them for granted, which I think that's what the Cowboys did,
Trap game.
Cardinals could be pretty sneaky. But I think the Niners play them twice a year, given it's a different coach, but same old Cardinals. I think we'll beat them by. I think Vegas has us by 14 favorite, 14 against them. I don't know about 14. If I was a betting man, I would take the Cardinals in the 14, but Niners by 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Fair
second
assessment.
that.
I'll third that as well.
Yeah,
I'll fourth it, but I'll say the 14 is fair. I'd say they beat them by 14.
yeah,
See, I was flirting 14, but I wasn't sure if I was going to get roasted for that.
You didn't want to be that guy.
yeah, I
I
definitely
think it'll
think
be more. I just don't want to jinx it.
I definitely think last week for the Cowboys that was a trap game. They completely underestimated them.
Oh, yeah.
And got exposed for it. I don't think the Niners are gonna do that. I really don't.
Well, they're going to watch that tape. I think if the Niners would have got beat by the Cardinals, let's say it was the other way around, the Niners lost to the Cardinals and the Cowboys had to look at that tape, I think the Cowboys would have won the game, taking advantage of the other game.
Yeah.
The way the Cowboys played and saw what the Cardinals were doing, we're going to hopefully make the proper adjustments and try to play some more man than zone against the Cardinals and trying to contain Dobbs. He is one that can escape. But I think we did pretty good with Daniel Jones, and he's pretty good on his feet as well. So if we can contain him and our front four, and then not only our front four that is just monsters when it comes to Drake Jackson, USC. You got Eric Armstead, who is, I think, really underrated. Doesn't come up in the stats with the sacks, but he does a lot of the hard work, pushing and caving in that middle. And then you have Hargrave that we added this year in free agency. And then you got Nick Bosa, the defensive player of the year that just got paid like one. And then now we're going, surprisingly, one thing that Steve Wilkes surprised me last week, he put Kinlaw, which Kinlaw, it looks like he's healthy now. They put 5 linemen and they rushed with 5 linemen. And I thought that was very interesting. And once we started doing that, Daniel Jones could not do anything. So
Yeah,
I expect to do that a little bit
I'm
more.
hoping y'all have seen the images floating around of Daniel Jones looking at that defense with that like concerned
No, I
face.
Really?
He looks like he's staring down death.
40,
Oh, why?
40
He probably
yards there,
was.
whatever it is.
And then we arguably have the best middle linebacker or linebacker duo in Fred Warner. And I'm not just speaking because I'm a Niner fan. I'll give props to any team, any player on any team, even the Cowboys. But Fred Warner and Greenlaw are playing amazing together. And our secondary is not the greatest, but when you have a pass rush like we do, complements the secondary. Secondary can afford to make a mistake here and there and not get really exposed because of that pressure that we put in the front. So I think we'll be fine, especially against Dobbs. Dobbs is going to be. They're going to show another picture of Dobbs right next to Daniel Jones. Both of them looking at the
I could see that
creature.
happening.
If y'all look at the text chat, I put in the image.
I forget we had a text chat in Discord.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I
That's the
wouldn't
one.
even. It's my first time on here or second time, so I don't even know where to look. But
Yeah, where do you see the text chat?
Let's
It's
see.
where it says text channels and it's hashtag general.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Daniel Jones looking at the Niners defense.
my luck. Oh, I see it.
That man
Oh,
is
wow.
scared for his life.
So probably every quarterback going up against the Niners defense.
That's funny. Hey guys, I don't mean to be rude. I do have a 7:30 podcast that I do myself, and the guys are already texting me the crap out of me. It's been really really fun, guys. You guys are doing an amazing job with this podcast. Keep
Thank
doing
you.
it. I look
Thank you.
forward to maybe down the line coming back as a guest if you have me. But you guys are awesome. It was nice meeting you guys, and keep doing what you guys are doing.
All right,
Thank
you, bro.
Great to have you.
All right, you
Yeah.
guys have a good night.
You too, buddy.
All right, we got 2 games left though. We're almost
Got
done.
2 games left?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask at some point how many we had left because I lost track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're almost done.
Sunday night football, Chiefs and Jets. I don't think the Jets are winning this one.
Yeah, no.
No chance. Not with
None.
Zach Wilson playing.
No way. Chiefs are gonna dominate by at least 14.
To the Jets fans
Yeah,
out
I
there,
agree.
as long as Zach Wilson is your quarterback, you ain't winning.
Nope.
Look, I mean, they can put in Trevor Simeon, who they recently signed, and the Chiefs are still winning that by like 10.
nothing. The
Nah,
Chiefs
if
are
they're
gonna
gonna sign a veteran, they should have got someone who's gonna put them over the edge.
the Chiefs are gonna dominate this. I think.
I agree. Like the Jets have a good defense, but a good defense isn't good enough when you don't have an offense to complement it, and they have no offense right now. So I got the Chiefs easily by 14 because they're just more well-rounded and more executed. Plus, they got the luck of Taylor Swift on their side.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I just want to point out that video of Travis Kelce walking out of the stadium with Taylor Swift. My boy was nervous. I could see
Yes.
it on his
Hey, I
face.
mean,
Oh yeah, and
he should be.
I got. And at the end of that game, I think he was smiling away. It's like he knew he did a good job right in front of his new boo. And I know for a fact he must be really happy that his jersey's selling like hotcakes with
Oh,
all
yeah.
the Swifties out there.
Yeah, 400% in the first day.
I will
Man.
say, Chiefs fans are probably not going to be happy when they start
Oh,
buying
no.
all the tickets.
Oh God.
Well.
Well,
I
I'm sure.
mean,
I'm
that's
sure the
luck of
Chiefs
draw.
won't. I'm sure the Chiefs won't care because
No,
it's
the
more money
fans
to
will.
them. So
They won't be able to get tickets.
that's true.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But let's move on here to the last game of the week: Seahawks and Giants.
I got the Seahawks in this one.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Seahawks.
I think so too. I think the Giants will put up a fight because it's not like the Seahawks have an elite defense.
Yeah, they don't.
And the Giants, like if they can get the ball rolling, the Giants can do some things, but I think the Seahawks are just the more complete team right now, especially with
Yeah.
Saquon still out.
Overall, the Seahawks have a better offense. Not a great defense, but they have a better offense right now. The Giants, it's like they're hit and miss right now so far this season. Like obviously they got blanked out by the Cowboys. Next week I think they took a W I could be wrong. I don't remember.
Yeah, against the
Um,
Cardinals.
Yeah, that's right. Against the
Barely.
Cardinals, but that was barely by a shootout. So it's like their defense is suspect right now already. Their offense can move the ball whenever they're in the good offense. It's like they kind of flip flop. It's like 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad. The last week, obviously, they were bad, but of course they went up against a really good Niners defense. So, but they should theoretically move the ball against that Seahawks defense. But I have the Seahawks at least by a touchdown
Yeah.
for this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go the same. My main
Yeah.
thing for the Giants is to quote a certain YouTuber. The Giants' main issue, I think, might be Daniel Jones looking like vintage Eli Manning in all the worst ways.
Vintage Eli Manning.
Shout out to the Chiseled Adonis on YouTube.
Yes. The
Uh,
Giants may be dead, but somehow they're still getting you know what.
yeah, yeah.
Have to keep it PG.
Just, it's just a rough
I
season
feel
for the
like
Giants.
I feel like we're gonna see a James Straws video about the Giants in the near future.
Wait, why?
Giants, what happened? Because they're gonna lose.
What do you
Right.
mean they've lost twice already? He would have made one by now.
I know. What do you mean? We're gonna get another one. Be quiet. Be silent for several days. All right.
No. All right. Well, I think that about does it for this week. Well, anyone want to sign us out?
Let's sing our song, right, Paulo?
Oh God, no.
Yes. Football.
No.
Wait, we should make a football
Football.
Taylor Swift song.
Oh God.
Oh, shake it off.
And
What's a
we're
Taylor Swift
gone.
Shake it
song?
off.